got our 6 playoff teams, but today seeding is the name of the game as 4 teams battle for their place in the bracket. And of course, our amusement, the most important thing of all things. Hello, everyone, and welcome to quadruple overtime bonus coverage of the North American LCS. What do you think of that? I like that title for a day.
Line 243, we have officially folded the foldy sheet all the way down.
Well, Mark and I have officially folded the foldy sheet all the way down.
That's a lot of folds. I just read 243.
Jab's folded game is weak.
Yeah.
Quite weak.
Didn't even attempt it.
That's all right, but that's the synergy Mark and I have built on the desk over more time
dual
than
stream
Jab.
days.
Exactly, the dual stream days of just Mark and myself. Jack, get on our level.
We still have like the old bits of the foldy sheet.
We do, man. This is
weekend.
what we started with.
That's
Started with
That's
twice
why there's so much
that.
under the desk.
Anyway, to review how we got here, let's pull up the standings where Team Liquid and Cloud9 took first and second, as well as those all-important first-round playoff buys. That leaves 100 Thieves, Fox, FlyQuest, TSM, all with 10 wins and a share of third place. But not for long, because we're going to solve all that today.
Yeah, an insanely entertaining last weekend of NA LCS, but also I do have to shout out Optic Gaming for making some huge improvements in the second half of the split, beating 100 Thieves on the last day, beating Echo Fox in week 8, and then now have the dubious award of being the first 9-9 team to not make playoffs. Very unfortunate,
That
but
stings a bit, but you know.
Especially beating some teams in playoffs to kind of like be like, look, we do deserve to be in playoffs.
Right.
It's just only 6 fit in there.
Just think about it. 6 of 10 teams make playoffs. You win half your games in a 10-team league, and you finish 7th?
Right.
Like, it's very unlucky. I feel really bad for them.
Absolute insanity, but they did put up quite a fight here near the end of the split. Let's take a look at what our tiebreaker schedule looks like, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Fox and TSM are up first on the Rift, followed by 100 Thieves and FlyQuest. After that, the losers of those first 2 games will face off against each other, and will conclude the day with the winners battling for third place. Side selection will be determined by your regular season strength of victory. First up, 100 Thieves at the top of that list, followed by Fox, TSM, then Fly. So that's the order of the strength of victories there. And in any matchups, whoever is higher on that list will get side choice.
100 Thieves always has side choice. FlyQuest never gets side choice.
That's an easy way to look at it, for sure. Let's not beat around the bush, though. I want to jump right into the brass tacks. How do these teams win, right? We're going to start with game 1, and Mark, you're on the hook for TSM.
And I'm going to say this time around, as much as we tell them they should be more proactive, reactive is okay in this matchup versus Echo Fox, who are always pushing the tempo of the game, and that's one of the times that you can go a little bit slower. We did see them lose to Echo Fox with a split push Gnar when they were a little too reactive.
Or not reactive enough.
Is that a win condition?
Yeah.
It's like a word of affirmation to be like, you guys, you can be reactive.
Yeah, I think it's a win condition. You don't need to try and go out.
Step up from recycling old win conditions like yesterday, Jat. Let's not ask for too much here on the desk.
I'm telling you, you go out there, you pick whatever you want in the draft as long as it's not a horrendous draft.
Yeah. Mark half-assing his homework is better than not doing his homework. Or copying yours.
Why do you think this is a half-ass win condition? Because Jack goes in there and says specific champ names.
Yeah, my win condition
for
Echo Fox, Gangplank, Varus, and Syndra. Just get as many of those as you can. I feel like their champion pools are pretty small. They have a lot of success when they get any of those 3 picks.
That's interesting. So
very specific. Push towards the goal.
How is that not half-ass homework? He literally just looked at the latest champions they played and said, play them again. How is that anymore?
Well, I guess my question then is like, are you suggesting that TSM could just target ban those 3 things and Echo Fox loses?
That could have been a great win condition for Mark.
Because I don't think that's a win condition. It's just play the same 3 champs you've been winning with.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, that's game 1 win conditions. Let's talk about 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. Mark, how's 100 Thieves going to come away with a victory?
All right, a little bit more specific for this one. I think strong top lane matchup is really important because Flame has kind of turned it around after not looking so great in the first half of the season. And then I do still want them to play through bot lane. We talk about Cody Sun was the kill leader in the league right now. And I think ever since Meteos left, they have not done as good of a job of feeding him kills and getting him gold early because those 2 guys work together super well. So I want a little bit more action in the bot lane to get those kills rolling.
On the flip side, FlyQuest?
I find it interesting how we both have things that the team should do to the bot and top lane, but it's just kind of reversed. Like, for FlyQuest, I feel like they should be denying Xayah and Rakan from 100 Thieves because Cody Sun is 6-0 on Xayah, whether he was playing it in mid or bot lane. And Aframu's Alistair, one of the other initiation supports he can play, he's actually been getting caught out a lot on, and Rakan has that disengage, which I think really benefits him. And then play through top. specifically because it's difficult to get a counter pick that can just beat Someday one-on-one.
I like that. Interaction in the side lanes, leave the mid laners on an island to some degree. That's how the teams might do it, but I want to put you both on the spot and see who you think is actually going to execute on these masterful strats that you've laid out. Yes, masterful, I'll call them. But taking a look at the games as they laid out, you guys have both elected for TSM over Echo Fox.
By the way,
why is that?
Yeah. Well, why is that? I feel like TSM moves in with a lot more momentum. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Echo Fox has lost 3 out of 4. The 5th game back is actually when they did play each other, and that was a very close game with the NAR split push actually pushing all the way to the Nexus.
Right.
But I do feel like the momentum is a little bit in TSM side right now from the previous game.
Is that about the same reason you
same
used?
stuff.
Okay.
I mean, even the win that they did get versus Clutch for Echo Fox was not super convincing, and I thought versus a stronger team, they easily could have lost that one. So I think TSM is the heavy favorite. Heavy
favorite for teams that are all tied in the standings,
exactly.
right? Exactly. That's one thing we have to remember is that we're essentially coming in with equal standing for all of these teams, and what we're trying to figure out here is the strength of them for the seeding. Game 2, you guys on the same page again?
I don't know. Yeah. So I'm a game behind Mark and
let's go. Let's just keep tying them up.
He's just hoping I match him.
So in reality, Mark is just trying to get in your head right now.
I'm just trying to get them
he's
right.
like, whoever Jat's going to pick, I got to just pick the same team. It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong.
We got lunch together today, and all I was doing was like probing him, seeing what he thought he was doing. What's interesting is last time at spring, heading into tiebreakers, I was 1 game behind, and I kind of inted by just picking upsets.
And you lost by like 4.
And I lost by 4 and made me look way worse.
Right.
Jat, whereas it's the exact same situation, but Jat just plays things too safe.
I'll still find a way to win. Or tie.
Or tie.
Yeah, and then we'll have a tiebreaker.
You need to get 1.
Hey, you guys aren't, you're not playing for nothing, too. You're playing for the prediction pineapple, and that's a big deal. Just in case you thought the pros were the only ones with some skin in today's games, Jat, you are currently 1 game behind Mark in that prediction game, as we just mentioned. And I know you've gotten used to sitting, or rather,
on his desk.
You've gotten used to this sitting on your desk, but right now, looking like it's looking for a new home.
Yeah. So, backstory, we bought this at a novelty shop in Berlin during MSI. We meant to give it
and I went on an excursion for this thing.
Dash forgot about it, so it became the NALCS award. It sat on my desk. Someone actually broke it by accident when they're moving my desk. But our PA has now glued it back together. So I hope that if you win, you take care of it, Mark.
It's going to just go on some random surface in my apartment and just go into the clutter pile.
Glorified paperweight.
Yeah.
It's a very prestigious award.
It is very, very much so. Well, that's enough frivolity. Let's kick it over to the casters to get us into tiebreaker action.
Thank you very much, Dash, and welcome to the caster desk. My name is Freak, and this guy returned to me from his sojourn to the great gastrointestinal beyond is Kobe.
Yeah, I'm back.
Feeling better?
I have been incredibly sick the past week, Freak.
I'm
but
sorry about that.
Bjergsen's Akali play has brought me back to life.
It is
so I can be here to cast some tiebreakers with my favorite Freak.
Oh, thank you very much. You're my favorite Kobe. Absolutely agree with that one. Echo Fox owns the head-to-head in this matchup 2-0, but the trajectories of these teams have been very different ever since their last meeting back in Week 7. TSM have won a lot in a row, and of course Echo Fox have lost a lot in a row, but we are here, ready to go. I want to point out, by the way, Echo Fox, as the analyst desk said, had side selection in this game. They chose to play red side. That is something we do not see very frequently in North America, but it was chosen here today.
Yeah, Echo Fox definitely trying to take advantage of some counter pick action here on the red side. Akali is already banned out, following with the Aatrox here. Some power picks for themselves for the solo laners.
Alrighty, yeah, no Bjergsen Akali. That is not much of a surprise. This champion's been left up every once in a while, but not here. No Kindred. Of course, a great one for Dardock, and Gangplank is who he's most played, so that is not a surprise. Of note, actually, is the fact that Rakan banned away by TSM. Jat seemed to think that it was important that TSM... Oh, no, that was not a Thieves game. I take that back. Either way, Rakan banned away. Lost Smoothie, not going to play that one, although Lost Varus is available, as Tom Kench has grabbed.
And yesterday, after their game, Mithy tweeted out that Pike is too hard, back on Thomas for me.
There you
Which,
go.
if you could figure out the lingo there, he meant Tom Kench. And that is the first pick for TSM. They will go right back to his old standard. This is a great champion for shutting down split pushing, which is also pretty good versus Echo Fox, you know, if Huni does try and go one of those carries.
And Echo Fox going to leave up the Nocturne here that Grig is currently hovering, and it gives him 2 different semi-globals on the composition. Mithy, of course, from the Tom Kench, and Nocturne will tick down and be grabbed here for Grig. I'll repeat again that Nocturne is very high priority in North America and Europe, but basically unseen in Korea. So a bit of a regional pick here, but still one that is as fearsome as the name suggests, and TSM going to have that one.
And another one that they want to split the map here. Nocturne very good at picking people off different lanes here, making use of the paranoia so they can't see each other. Definitely clear what TSM are going with in game number 1, whereas Echo Fox, they got the Varus for Lost. This has been a very important champion for him. They talked about it on day 1. Comfort pick for him in the bottom lane. Very, very strong performances on Varus so far this split.
Yeah, absolutely the case. So Ash is there as well. Some more global stacking up. TSM pressing R across the map. And a Philly audience support maybe looking here for Demonte locking it in for Smoothie. Brown Varus, a very, very frequent bot lane. Tom Kench, Ash, quite similar as well. These are two of the most frequent duos in the current pro climate. And now we go to the second phase advance.
All right, with all lanes matched as well, it should be interesting because it's just the 2 solo lanes. Echo Fox will have to show one of their solo lanes first. They picked red side on purpose so they could get at least one counter pick, and TSM will have to have the option at least to counter pick one of them, though. Looks like they are going to split here and focus mid early on with the Fizz band out as well, take away some of those assassins that would play really well with a team with all these globals you're talking about that are trying to split up the lanes and keep people spread out.
I also think it might set up for a Zoe pick here at the beginning of the second phase to get rid of more assassins here with the Akali ban. Earlier, the Fizz ban. Now, typically a weak matchup for Zoe is those assassin matchups.
Yeah, Zoe also has some difficulty when facing against Nocturne just as far as jungler matchups when the ults come in, but definitely could be an option here. Zillion also banned out. North American special here. We can lay claim, I believe, to the Zillion as well as the combination with Kindred. And not going to be the case here, as Brixton has already shown it as well.
I like the art on the book there. I didn't remember which TSM coach it was, but I like that, I guess Song is over there holding some little artwork on the front. It's not like a TSM logo. It's like a nice wreath of leaves or something. I couldn't quite tell what, but it looked cool. We'll see it again later, I trust.
Freak saw something cool, but doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, that's all I know. My brain's too small to decipher anything other than looks cool, doesn't look cool. Look to my right, looks cool. Look forward, looks cool.
Nice.
Yeah, mirror, less cool. That's fine. Cinder band away, and it's time for Rumble to be actually a quasi-blind pick. We've seen it played mid before. Huni himself did it. So who knows if they want to flex that one around, but likely a blind top.
And Huni's Rumble has been legendary for years in the top lane. This is definitely a huge, huge pick for him, in addition to Rumble being super strong right now. Plus, if you look at Echo Fox's Summer Split, they only have a 20% win rate, 1 out of 5 for tank champions for him. So having him on a DPS source, very, very good strategy here for Echo Fox that has been proven to be the way for success.
And speaking of strategies, can you come up with a defining theme here for the TSM champions? I'm trying to think of something they all have in common, and it's escaping me a little bit.
It's something that we've already said.
Yeah, it is. I think they all move around the map a lot.
Well, Rise is going to add another one of those ultimates that you are alluding to that can traverse a long distance across the map here. Plus, they lock in another split pusher here with the Camille for Hanser. So TSM are going super hard in the split map. It should be completely split, 1-3-1 probably the entire time. And for the newer players, the 1-3-1 we always mention means 1 champion in a side lane, 3 in the middle, then 1 in the other side lane, so that you keep pressure on all different lanes. And it makes it hard for the enemy team, especially if you're looking at Echo Foxes. They want a 5-on-5, but the 5 group has a lot more strength together, so they then are faced with this task of running around the map, trying to protect all their different objectives from these different DPS sources. But if they can actually land a 5-on-5 fight, they generally will have a large advantage in that. And if you look at the lineup right now, that will definitely be true with all of these team fight abilities on the Echo Fox side.
Well, TSM locking in their first Camille of the split, whether top or jungle. Of course, that will be Hans in the top lane running it. So split push power, and of course, as you're talking about, a lot of team fight power here on Echo Fox. I mean, you look at all those ultimates, and they are very good at fighting 5-on-5. So a different look for both squads. The battle for seeding and they battle for side choice in the first quarter final. All these teams represented here will be at the very least in the World Championship qualifier gauntlet, even if they fail in playoffs. So at least 2 best of 5s in the future for both of these teams. But side selection in quarterfinals might mean you actually win North America, might mean you get a better seed into the regional qualifier. All that stuff matters, and so the battle for the postseason begins here. the battle for either getting a 4th or higher seed or being 5th or lower.
And if you see those two guys that were just on your screen, the mid laners, we didn't quite talk about Damonte's pick at the very end there. This is the first Cassiopeia of summer in the North American LCS, and it is a good, team fighting champion. We'll slot right in with the strategy that they are running. However, becomes kind of difficult to land your ultimates if people are looking for it, and especially if things like Nocturne actually have a spell shield for it. You have to play then the mind games, cast a poison on him or a Twin Fang really quickly, then try and use your ult and hope he doesn't turn around. There's a lot of options though for TSM and the early game plan. And what the game would look like if they get the advantage is, could look very snowball. It could look like a steamroll here with these comps that are very spread out and strong at split pushing.
Yeah.
But Echo Fox, they're trying to hold solid, get to the stage of the game where they can group up and bring their 5-man power together.
And yeah, if they are able to start the dives and really push people off, that 5-man crew is not stoppable by TSM if they're ahead in gold. So I think both these squads can get out of control if they get the gold the way they want it to. No Braum invade going to happen here. Gets away from the Mythy tongue.
Yeah, and level 1 is actually going to be very important here, especially with how powerful either of these junglers could influence these lanes. There's a lot of gank setup in all of the lanes, actually. Every single one could be an option for these junglers to visit early on. So then you start thinking about, one buff into Scuttle Crab routes, and we'll see if any of the river vision does become important. Right now, pings are going down. They're fighting over it, trying to go for the invade here with the sweeper from Dardoch, and it might just start out with a red buff attempt. They do have Braum, so they could go for the fight here.
Of course, a 3v2, they get rid of that Trinket Ward, and they're going to try to push Sven off this one as they're going to go for the red steal. Of course, you see that Grig and Hanser are going to do the very similar thing. And it looks like in both cases, no casualties, and a red buff steal for both junglers.
Yep, and we're going to walk to lane here. Echo Fox should be able to get there pretty easily, even though TSM had the early inside route. Splitting jungles top and bottom here. So TSM will have top side jungle control. Huni has already warded his Tri-Brush, so he can get some vision here and doesn't die to one of those early ganks that we have seen quite a lot, actually, in summer with his recent performance definitely coming under scrutiny.
Bjergsen just got level 2 and he walked back just in time. That could have been very dangerous here, but he's going to be just fine. Also, of course, Grig was spotted on that Trinket Ward, so they knew he only took red and then left and then went for Scuttle. So Dardoch actually knows which camps are up on his jungle, and it's all of them.
Yeah, I also like the taunt there from Bjergsen afterwards. Oftentimes, you'll see that from players who don't want to be repeat ganked. They feel like if they can embarrass you for coming to your lane for the first gank, then you'll be less likely to come show your face around again.
That's a good idea.
But in the end, usually when that happens to me, I just get more angry and go there more often. So we'll see how it works out this time around. Obviously, they do have full information. Both teams know that the jungles have been split vertically here. So again, as you said, Grig just did the red buff and then, into the river. Both of them are now retreating to their blue quadrants, and they should be able to rotate over. But a lot of vision has been left behind.
Yeah, and Dardoch's still part of the Raptor camp. That's why that 18 CS is the way it is. He's gotten a little bit over there, so has denied partially. Grig going to revisit this jungle. Smite up on the TSM jungle, but not on Dardoch. And now the team's
the mid lanes.
Yeah, the pillars. Zen gets away from the fear. And no further chase. Damonte comes back.
Yeah, mid lane inside track there for Damonte. Bjergsen pushing up the lane. Damonte actually takes some damage for it in a decent trade for Bjergsen. Plus, he's got the pushing minions into turret as well. But in the end, Grig is going to have a little bit delayed level 6 on the Nocturne, and that's what TSM want to make use of. As soon as he gets level 6, they have all the options. I was saying every single lane, Ash Arrow, or Rise W root, or Camille E stun, all great setups for a level 6 Nocturne, and they will definitely try and make an offensive play at that point.
So I like that Dardoch is playing kind of as aggressively as he can, though, of course, and trying to deny those levels. Grig, for example, still only level 3, has a ways to go, and the longer he waits till 6, the less ults come out, and that might be a good thing.
Yeah,
grabs tier, walks over.
And honestly, it was also a lot due to Grig, pathing in and out of the same quadrant over and over, and kind of not having the most time efficient route there because he didn't have perfect tracking on Dardoch.
Yeah.
There we go. The bottom side trade does go in. A lot of damage onto Smithy.
Down to 300 HP. They're still actually fighting down there, and Sven getting really low. Is he setting up for a bait though? Grig can't really join Sven. The holds on, of course, with TP, he can get right back into lane. Lost, of course, cannot teleport back. He has the heal for a fight, but now, if it's a bad recall for him, it could be TSM coming out ahead. So a hard push coming from the Echo Fox duo, as Ven will rejoin this lane very, very shortly, and then Lost will have to walk his way back.
Yeah, should be able to back off and recall right now. The Scuttle Crab actually spawning on the bottom side, so Dardoch should be able to come down here and get that for a little bit of extra vision and continue his lead in the jungle. Scuttle Crab number 2 is pretty big to retain control, plus Dardoch already is ahead in experience, very slightly, as you mentioned. So he's going to be able to keep a little bit ahead of Grig. And the early game for Echo Fox, they want to keep it as quiet as possible.
Yep. Well, Grig, 0 camps up on his side of the jungle with losing the Scuttle. He's got literally nothing that he's able to farm other than leeching lanes, I should say. Finally, Gromp comes up. He'll head to that side of the map. And based on Echo Fox's deep vision earlier, they know which camps are up and down and might just know that Grig is topside. He'll get close to 5 off this one and continue his way up towards the ultimate.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dardoch actually checking in on the actual experience levels is almost an entire level above Grig. There's about 1 extra camp there, boosting Grig from a quarter to about 50% of the way to the next level, but Dardoch definitely keeping that same experience lead. Bjergsen moves into the jungle, though, to try and get a little bit of vision. Again, Grig going for another pre-6 gank here, just kind of walking around. Dardoch, though, has fully cleared his route, and he can easily bully him in the one-on-one.
And just pushing Nocturne right off of this one. So 6 minutes in,
Those
still
wolves.
level 4.
Will Dardoch try? It looks like they are. They're calling Damonte over. You can see the jungle being helped out here by the mid lane. They want to keep denying experience from this Nocturne, not let him get level 6 to influence the lanes.
Well, they're not putting out the miasma yet for the slow to set up now with the pill. Might go on to Grig. They're going to try to knock him down. This one he has flash, but he's got no way out. He's stunned, and First Blood comes through. Now for the trade, though. There's nowhere for Dardoch to go. He does get killed, but First Blood, more gold to Echo Fox.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it there for Echo Fox on the invade. Not only do they get First Blood, they did take away some of the wolves and killing Grig once again, so that further delays that level 6.
Beautiful stuff. Here's the replay.
All right, so they corner him right now. It's going to be a really good pillar from Dardoch. You can see they finish off the second wolf, then right against the little corner here. He has the red smite, able to get it down. Damonte uses the ultimate. They get the stun. No flash was ever used by Grig, but because Haunser had the inside recall here on top lane, was able to get here much quicker with the Camille, hook shot, allowing him to get there.
And it means we have a 500 gold difference in this game. Echo Fox, the ones leading. They were 2-0 in the head-to-head over TSM. They chose to be red side. They let that Nocturne up, and they've had a pretty good plan so far in dealing with it. Dardoch kills 1 small Raptor, gets level 6, and might just walk in for some more fighting. He knows the blue is respawning.
He also knows the Scuttle Crab is up on this top side, so he's just going to take as much as he can off this top side, finishing off this control ward quickly so they don't have any vision. But again, Damonte pushes the lane in from mid lane, comes over to support his jungler and help out Dardoch with this game plan of invading Nocturne. Grig now is level 6, though, on the Nocturne. Has been able to clear his entire red side and might try and use that to help out one of the lanes.
Looks like it's going to be a look towards topside. Haunter just burn hook shot. This could be the play. Equalizer comes down. Can they dive Haunter? Is going to walk forward as Dardoch takes aggro, pops the ult, puts the pillar down, and a flash out keeps Haunter alive. Health bar is a little bit low on Dahuni. Only a flash for that gank.
Yeah, they have to be very careful. And you could see Echo Fox, they knew when they were going for that. It wasn't a super hard commitment because there are so many globals in the TSM lineup. Again, Ryze can join from a very long distance away. Nocturne ultimate is ready. If you overextend, get greedy, and go for that dive, as we've seen happen with this team, in Summer Split, then they would 100% get punished. The analyst were talking a little bit about, Mark said, it's okay to be reactive, and they were memeing him for it, but TSM's, composition here have a lot of global ultimates that really do make it easy to be reactive if Echo Fox overstep and overchase.
Yeah, and if you're going to say one thing about Echo Fox, and as criticism, you'd often say, oh, well, they're going to go for everything. You bait them, you set up the dives, and they'll kill themselves. So I do appreciate that Echo Fox actually backed off of that one. Said, okay, we got the flash. We'll come back later. You got a 5-minute window on that one. And we'll see if they do revisit. Grig has ult. He's maybe looking towards bot side. Keep in mind, all the summoners are up, including Lost's heal that he chose to bring instead of that TP of Sven.
Defensive play there, though.
Yep. Just sitting back. So nothing to be seen here. Lost his last hitting. This wave is at roughly equilibrium. He might be missing some gold by playing it this way, but of course he's right, does not want to be ganked.
Yeah, pretty good play here from Echo Fox, playing it nice and slow, as they're looking to do. Also, you can see Lost with the recurve bow is going with the attack speed build for Varus, so not going to be doing the poke lethality build. And again, that is going to play very well with the 5-on-5 strategy that you could see early on in the Champ Select developing for Echo Fox. You know, having the attack speed Varus helps a lot with taking down neutral objectives very quickly as well. Something that the 5-on-5 comps are going to want to group up around, start controlling those dragons, and daring anyone to fight them. Rumble with the ultimate, super powerful if there is any sort of grouping. So TSM's game plan remains the same. You know, split up the lanes and try and pick people off.
Split push versus team fighting. Haven't had much of either just yet in this one as we cross the 10-minute mark in. Small laning phase lead to TSM. And of course, that first blood for Demonte is going to feel very good in Echo Fox mid lane.
Yep, and you can see they're working really nicely as far as a pairing of the mid lane and jungle. When one gets advantage and you see Bjergsen rotate up to the top side, Dardoch goes deep into the jungle, get a little bit of deeper vision, clears out a ward. Then Demonte roams with him as well. And they've definitely put some extra work into the synergy here. Working out pretty well for them. He gets another Scuttle Crab. Trundle basically dominating the Scuttle Crab game. And that is going to happen with this jungle matchup as far as a one-on-one. Nocturne's advantage would be using the ultimate to go for a gank, but actually slips into bottom side even with the vision. And it looks like TSM are going to be able to take away this dragon.
He even burned TSM Sven's teleport to make sure he keeps priority down in this lane. And yeah, quick-ish Ocean Drake picked up at 11 minutes, 20 seconds or so. And now maybe a repeat towards the top side. Right now, it's just Dardoch taking down Rift Herald. They know the Drake is picked up, so they know Nocturne is stuck bot side. And even with the ultimate, it only goes so far.
It's a difference in recall timings here, because as we mentioned before, Lost has taken the heal on Varus for more lane security in 2 versus 2, whereas Sven, he times the same recall. Echo Fox and TSM bottom lanes both recalled at the same time, but teleport comes in from Sven. He gets right back out to protect that dragon as well.
And TSM were just warned, hey, by the way, Trundle's on the top side of the map. He took Rift Herald, so they're all running down to bot side. There was potentially a gank. Now they turn it back around, so finally some damage onto mid turret.
Can they zone it? Ooh, really good zone there. They're trying to protect the Rift Herald as long as they can on the turret, but TSM move in and they'll be able to take it out before the turret goes down.
They'll stay up, and Ult's going to come in now towards Ashe. Pretty good damage. Of course, Mid's going to grab him, but now be rooted in place, and out they go. Ult's going to land on it too, and they just blow him up right where he stands. TP is coming in. This fight's going to continue. Haunts are going to try to get in for the hook shot. Lost could be grabbed up soon. There's that first stun. He's got nowhere out. A 1-for-1.
And the top side, actually, where Echo Fox kept their teleport alive for Huni. They just kept pushing on the turret. They get the first turret bonus gold. So Echo Fox do come out with a bit more gold. TSM, though, on the bottom side, as you said, they did get that kill back, and it did go to the Camille, who's supposed to be very powerful there in this split push, trying to get to her Trinity Force as quickly as possible.
And they're sending Bjergsen left-hand side to grab the waves and pushed in as well. We watched that bot lane fight again.
Again, this is TSM's bottom lane getting killed early on. Did happen yesterday as well. Sven gets hit with the ultimate. Mithy, even though he eats him up, it already chained over. He gets locked into place. So then when Sven gets spit out, Echo Fox jump right on him. They burst him down. And in the end, collapse here from Bjergsen as well as teleport from Hanser did cut them off. So there was no escape route for the duo afterwards. But still strong play from them to get the 2 versus 2 kill first. And their top side got the first turret bonus gold and for it as well in the deal quite nicely.
Definitely some cool stuff. So again, take stock of the game, and it's only a 500 gold difference. Consider that 150 of that is first blood, and about 300 of that is the first turret gold, and it means that farm has been roughly equalized, all other things considered. Still a very close game here. We saw, of course, bot lane Outer was killed during the replay. Hanser stuck around for some of that. Managed to equalize his farm as well. He's pretty close to Trinity Force. 300 gold away from that mark as he walks back out of the base. Something to watch for. Grig has yet to ult from what I could remember this game, and we'll see the Nocturne can start having side lane pressure soon as the power spikes start growing.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of cooldown reduction now that he's got his warrior completed, so when he does use his ultimate,
yeah,
be on a slightly shorter cooldown. Meanwhile, they do move back to bottom lane and clear that out. You can see TSM, tremendous vision control in this bottom side river with all the control wards through the entire thing. They feel very, very safe on this side in addition to still having their turret standing. Whereas Echo Fox is going to have to be fairly careful, and you can see Lost and Smoothie, they move up to get those minions while they have jungler on their side. Dardoch is at blue handing it off and could roam down if there was any sort of aggression.
And right now there isn't, although Grig is roughly in range if there is a fight. No blast plant used by trying to get over the wall and waiting outside the vision of that scuttle plant. Keep in mind Bjergsen is kind of nearby as well.
Yeah, you can tell TSM threatening a play here while Bjergsen had the mid lane pushed in. You push a wave at mid lane, then you get priority. That allows you to roam while the other mid laner would have to stay at the turret and get those minions. It threatened a big numbers advantage, so Echo Fox had to back off.
So, no fights just yet. Still waiting for that side lane control to come through from TSM. Either way, it's been a fairly close game here, and jungle formerly 10 CS apart. Top laner's plus 15 though for Hoon. He's going to be nice. He's still building towards his items. Seeing the same build again where he's getting a pretty early Fiendish Codex. Now he might go full Zonias, but I've also seen him just sit on Codex and go for the more typical high AP items. So we'll track that build over time. Archangels, of course, stacking up for both these mid laners here. No surprises. But no Rod of Ages yet either.
True enough. Bottom lane actually is going to be the focus though, because we do see the roam from Dardoch as well as Damonte from mid lane threatening to go down there. And that is going to be enough for Echo Fox to power down turret number 2, it looks like. Getting that gold advantage a little bit further in their favor. Meanwhile, the opposite side of the map would be where TSM would want to make a play during the 3-man show bottom.
And Hooney's already burned his ultimate once to clear a wave and then recall or hide.
Oh, Mithy!
On CD. Now here comes a play in the bot side. 3 versus 2. Looking for his Venice. They root up Mithy. He's going to flash away. Still being slowed. He'll be stunned. Rise could show soon. Will they get the double kill? Yes, they will. The bot lane's gone, but here comes Bjergsen. TP coming in for Hooney as well. Another 4v1. Sweeney takes the turret, drops the aggro. Bjergsen TP's into his doom. 3-0 Echo Fox.
Oh, Damonte now finds Grig popping over the wall. And he has to flash away.
And he's going to get out. Nice spell shield, gets rid of the haste, but another turret falls. Echo Fox now 3-1 in turrets and 5-2 in kills as Haunter equalizes top lane.
Yeah, the bottom lane, though, has become a disaster for TSM and a huge point of strength once again for Echo Fox. Lost on his Varus, has the extra crowd control to bring. Smoothie and Dardoch make the initial pick here, but they would have gotten away with it, you know, with the flashes. Then he goes for the Devour afterwards, but Lost is able to land his ultimate. They get the chain through, and eventually both of them low enough. They finish off the kills. Then Bjergsen tries to come in to help out his teammates, but the teleport is answered by Hooney, and he's in a 1v4 situation. Even though he 1v9 yesterday, can't pull it off today.
That's true. New day, new Bjergsen, 1-1. Not the same scoreline that Zakali had a few hours ago, but it now means Echo Fox are in control. 3,500 up. And Infernal Drake in their sights. Zonia's is completed for Hooney after all, so he has good tools against Nocturne dives and Camille ultimates. That's probably the right choice, to be honest, but now building towards more normal items afterwards. As we have the early stone plate done and Dardoch is ready to frontline here. Infernal picked up, Echo Fox feeling pretty good.
Feeling pretty good indeed. Now it's time for TSM, if they want to retake control here, really double down on that strategy of split pushing and just only picking people off, because teleport now is gone for Hooney. That was basically the only mobility, map mobility, that Echo Fox had to answer map moves, right? So TSM should, with 3 teleports available, Nocturne ult available, Tahm Kench ult available, they have so much of an advantage in the map mobility at this point. This is where TSM would want to press it and make a use of the cooldowns to actually regain some gold here and try and retake control of the game. Echo Fox, though, they want to play it slowly, of course, right now, and just wait for that to come back up.
Still waiting for that split push pressure to come through. The map being opened up, though, with 6 turrets down means there's more room for it. But again, we're waiting, counting the number of minutes until Grig presses R for the first time.
And we should also go over what these tiebreakers really mean, because we got into this day very quickly. There are going to be 4. The winner of this game will play the winner of the next tiebreaker, for that number 3 spot in the playoffs. And meanwhile, loser will play the loser of our next game as well, to see who ends up a little bit further down the way. And there's huge variance here for all these teams where they can end up as far as who your playoff opponent is. And they talked about it. Every single player here in the summer split has talked about how big of an advantage it is to even have a couple extra spots there, or a better matchup in playoffs with all the teams this year for the North American LCS being stronger and being closer together in skill. You can lose any of those matchups in playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, these are all teams that went 10-8 in the regular season. Clearly, these are equal matches in general. And you talk about specific matchups as well. You think about it, Echo Fox, 2-0 on TSM in the season, looking towards a 3-0. That is a matchup TSM would love to avoid in the future. It seems like they've got their number right here. Demonte able to skirt around Camille. Now, will there be someone joining? There's a ward down. Bjergsen and Sven could TP. Mythic could bring someone. Greg could join. But down he goes, down the river. No one going to react to this.
This is a blue buff on Cassiopeia, though. In crazy amount of damage you can pour into Baron, and they've already got vision control, so they're just burning it down in the fog of war.
Couple of pings from TSM. They can start showing up, but they're not panicked about it. No one's going very fast. Hawkshot finally shows. And that's the call for Echo Fox to send Smoothie down to barrier. Rumble's going to buy some time. Hanser is on the wings, and here comes Greg, but he can't smite in time. Baron picked up, and now the kill's going to come through. The rest of the team's still alive. Fox with Baron in a kill.
And TSM, they just get bamboozled here. Baron taken away. Echo Fox now 5-man strong, will be able to shove down mid lane with a huge gold lead. It looks like Echo Fox want to get themselves the top spot.
And they're going to rush right down the mid lane, the turret in their eyes, and can you really blame TSM for giving that one up? They're too powerful. Out they go.
Again, TSM can't fight the 5-on-5. They only can split push here. So they've got Bjergsen and Hanser pushing the side lanes. Sven's doing his best with a couple of volleys to slow down this onslaught of Baron empowered push right down the middle from Echo Fox.
But right away they go. 21 minutes and 10 seconds in. The mid inhibitor is gone. Echo Fox have taken a huge swing at this game. A 6,000 gold lead. And they'll reset to stop some of these turrets, but looks like top and bottom tier 2s may fall. TSM split.
Yeah, 2 turrets will be picked up here for TSM in their attempt at the trade with the Baron empowered push, and that will be some gold back for themselves. But again, there's still almost 2.5 minutes left on the Baron, so Echo Fox can just return to the exact same game plan. Let's take another look at that Baron setup. Now, Grig has been amazing for TSM this split as far as stealing away Barons. He doesn't get it this time, though. Echo Fox already burning it down. Quickly take it, even as the Paranoia went in. So they also got the extra kill, and that allowed them to do a very quick push. Now, though, they can split back out and try and get their side waves in order.
Kobe, you had mentioned the build path from Lost going Ruin King early in that, and that seemed to actually be a factor. Of course, they were able to kill it just before Grig was in range for the smite. And now Smoothie going to clear out some of this brush, look for the fact that Grig is around, has a flash away, a pillar there, could buy some dime. Does Dardak keep going for this fight? He brings Smoothie over, doesn't quite get the stun, but now they turn back around. Oh! The top side!
And there we go. We're getting a glimpse at the map mobility from TSM. They finally used some of it. Paranoia goes down. They get the teleports coming in. Now they have the numbers advantage.
Whew. Okay. Nice pick off. Out they go. And that's time bot. That's time of the Baron buff not doing anything now as he...
Look at this fresh play as well.
Rooted. People are there. 3v1. Demonte gets a stun. Gets a shield. Tries to kill off Greg. Stopwatch gets him. And a shutdown for TSM. And out goes Echo Fox. 2 kills for TSM.
TSM put a stop to that push there quickly. Ash Arrow does not hit, though, so Dardak and Smoothie will be able to walk right down mid lane. It looks like they're going to get some minions to threaten TSM so they don't get anything else off the play.
There's minions shoving down the mid lane. And out goes Echo Fox. The gold getting closer, only 2,500 apart. We watch this fight again as Lost knows to be safe.
Yeah, you feel in those situations, you feel like he knows he should not, or there's a possibility of danger being in that brush. In the end, though, Minion's too juicy, moves back up, and gets annihilated.
Just instantly gone. Sven and TP'd, of course, into that one. And now we watch round 2. Same story, pretty much. Demonte's like, I'm in a wave. Oh, wait, there's 3 again? Okay.
The TSM Death Rush now. Here we go, though. Hanser, he's going to have to make a run for it.
Okay, he's got that one, but if Smoothie can land the Q, he's not got to go anywhere. If they can get the rest of these hits, a flash and ult. A nice prediction by Hanser to get away from that one. Out he goes.
Wow, Hanser saving his flash. Doesn't use it early on the Q, allows the slow to hit afterwards, then gets away from the flash ultimate from Smoothie. Very calmly played in a dangerous situation, and now TSM still trying to navigate their own jungle as Equifox grouping up and trying to make use of the inhibitor down in mid lane as the extra point to push with, as they've got minions bottom lane and Bjergsen is pressuring top side.
So the siege has to happen 5v4. No, they were going to consider the Rumble recall. He stopped it, started it again.
Bjergsen does not have teleport on Rise, so he'd have to channel a full recall back if he wanted to join this.
The dive is on towards Ash, the pillar in, and no one's in range to stop him. A 1-for-0. That kill's picked up, and actually, it's Huni still staying around. He's going to fight Hans on the top side. Health bar's low on both ends. The Comet knocks him down. Inhibitor falls as well. Bjergsen backs off.
And that's going to be it. Equifox are going for Nexus turrets now. Bjergsen's channeling that recall again, as we said. Has to be a full channel. He's going so slow, and Equifox are almost on the Nexus.
5 versus 3. Even if he shows up, the paranoia is on, and the battle is there. Can they stop them? It seems like not. Equifox grab all the kills. 9-4 in this one. Mithy's gonna fall. The Nexus is theirs, and it will be side selection in the quarterfinal for Equifox.
Big stuff out of Equifox, and especially the bottom lane presence down there, affording them quite an advantage.
25 minutes flat. They picked themselves a team fight comp. They picked themselves red side. They gave up the Nocturne. And you figure with all the darkness he shows up, no one saw him all game.
You also figure people need to start denying Lost the Varus.
Yeah.
They won the bottom lane. He had tremendous damage in taking the Baron for them very quickly as well. He got multiple picks with the Varus ultimates. Definitely looks to be his best champion by far.
Yeah.
And it gets them to the next tiebreaker. They will be playing for that 3rd seed.
Yeah, they'll be playing 4th in the day, so a quick 2-hour break or so for Equifox. They'll be playing the winner of 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. And yeah, the winner, as you mentioned, will have that 3rd seed. They'll have side selection, and they will guarantee if they win, they are playing exactly Cloud9 in that semifinal, so they'll actually start knowing their road through.
Cloud9.
Yeah, because it can't be anything else.
But which Cloud9?
Oh, that's true.
We have so many versions.
There's about 17 of them. So we'll figure out which permutation that is in several weeks down the line, but still a great game. Of course, TSM will be playing in 1 hour. They're waiting for the loser of that match we talked about a little bit ago, and we'll figure out what that is very, very soon. Now, for more on that Equifox victory, let's hand it off to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Equifox, 25-minute game victory here over TSM in our first tiebreaker game of the day. Pretty decisive, although it ended in weird fashion. Maybe a bit of an overreach by TSM in setting up that split push, almost trying to do to Equifox what had been done to them.
And then just had it done to them again.
Again.
TSM needs to work on their split push a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say that Equifox laned well and did make decisive calls, but TSM looked pretty bad at this comp.
Yeah, I think they also need to work on pressing that F key when they want to flash ability.
What if it's on D?
What is on D?
Then the D key. Whichever key has that big yellow
Let's
button.
not discriminate here, Mark.
Because like right
Against
here, you know,
flashers
you don't
and
want
the
to
F
flash
flashers.
this. The only reason that this works out is because Honster is able to get there a lot faster, but it's going to cost him a little bit in terms of like the wave pressure. They trade 1 for 1. It's okay. Here, once again, he eats this. It makes sense. You have Mithy there. He's going to eat him out of the Varus ultimate. But then here, you might want to flash the Braum part so they can't keep walking forward and insta-give you.
Right, and you got a TP coming in, right? Buy that space. Let the Camille come in, get the kill. Perhaps it's a 1 for 0 instead of a 1 for 1 trade while losing a turret on the top lane.
Part of playing reactive is having reactions, and I don't think TSM really had the reactions at all this game. Here's the first Grig ultimate of the game going in way late on a Baron buff.
Yep.
It was definitely a struggle for them.
And this one, we have some disagreement about this. I feel like Mithy needed to just be behind the Ashe because, yes, he's flashless, but Ashe does get hit by Varus ultimate a lot. I wanted Mithy to eat him there, but even here, they have the Rise split pushing on the other side. If they're going to step up and contest so aggressively in a 3v4, you need to be very able to retreat. They were not. They probably should have just given that inhib if they were going to trade. A lot of missteps by TSM. As we have their post-game breakdown from Team Liquid down memory lane, very positive stuff.
Just in case you're
not
curious.
Quite today's post-game breakdown.
And in that last replay too, there was also the miasma on the ground, so maybe his Fem was like, I will flash, but then
now I can't flash.
Yeah, so it was one of those. That one was a little tougher, I think.
Yeah.
We were debating it, like you said, but I think that was a big problem in general with their play this game.
Right.
Not really respecting things.
Exactly. And you talked about wanting them to be reactive or saying, hey, reactive is okay. Let's take a look at a play that we can kind of focus in on in terms of, you know, where TSM is making missteps here.
Right. So you are splitting the map here. The Nocturne's on the top side. Your solo laners are staying in the solo lane. The enemy jungler is helping push. You don't have that much vision down the boss side, but you have some. And you see Braum is already in that brush. You already know that. And Dardoch's about to walk in there. So as you roll this play out, what's going to happen is, all right, we're playing reactive, let's back up. But Mithy just charges right into the jungle and gets pillared. This is what's going to really blow the game open for Echo Fox. They were doing okay until this point, and they just absolutely punish here, and that's not bad enough. Here's the late reactions once again. Now I'm going to rise Realm Warp in. This is all alone. The TP comes in. The Nocturne was once again splitting the map, so he couldn't use his ultimate to contest. And it's just one of those things where they're not respecting what Echo Fox can do.
That's the PGB you were looking for.
And that's the first big dip right there around 15 minutes.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, around 24 minutes when they used kind of their first Camille ult of the game and started actually playing to the side lanes.
Nocturnal.
It looked effective, so I understand what TSM was going for. It was very distinctly split push versus team fight. So those games oftentimes do snowball vastly in one direction. I do feel like TSM played pretty badly, but Echo Fox did deserve the win.
Yeah, and as much as we talk about proactive versus reactive, and TSM's comp does have the tools to collapse on stuff, what we've always seen is that when you pick this comp, it's much better to be the ones pushing the tempo. Like, if you are going to have Tahm Kench Ashe, the Camille, Nocturne, what you want to do is split the map and then force plays on the side lanes by using your 1-3-1 and global advantage, and that's a proactive play.
I mean, literally when we were loading into the game, I turned to you guys and I was like, all right, what's the ideal way for TSM to play this out? Mark, you had said 15 minutes, let's be basically even in gold, maybe with a little bit of tempo advantage. And then as you pointed out on that gold graph, 15 minutes is exactly where Echo Fox shoots to like a 3K gold lead over TSM and now has the entirety of the map control, making it that much harder for the TSM comp to be executed on.
Yeah, and I had said around 20 or 25 minutes, if you can ever just make fights happen around Baron and Drake, that's good for Echo Fox, because that's when Rumble, Varus, Cassio are all going to be at an extremely strong point. So what this also means in our 4-game tiebreaker day is that Echo Fox is now guaranteed side selection in the majority of their games in the quarterfinals.
That's
because they're going to be third or fourth. That game will be played later, depending on the winner of the next best of 5. TSM doesn't get that.
Nope.
They're 5th or 6th.
5th or 6th. And as you mentioned, yeah, the third place match is the final game of the day.
Yeah.
Of course, we have FlyQuest and 100 Thieves up next. Winner of that game will be playing Echo Fox at the end of the day. Loser of that game will be playing TSM immediately following that second game of the day. Side selection is important. Matchups are something to be considered when you're talking about playoffs. But I think beyond all that, you don't want to close out your tiebreaker day, you know, back-to-back losses, especially stompy losses, and doing it in a fashion that doesn't make you look like a cohesive team.
Probably not. There's also the factor, just thinking of the day-to-day, like TL and C9 are both very clearly what looks like the 2 best teams. So while 3rd seed is great in the fact that if another team from the quarterfinals meets in the finals, you'll get side selection, like that guarantees you'll play TL, which is that a bonus?
I don't really know.
I mainly just want to be able to play the 6 seed because they're probably going to be the weakest.
Yeah, that's the biggest point about that. And of course, this is one of the last matches you'll have on stage before then. So if you are going to try some stuff out, which this was what we were also talking about, like this is a pretty different TSM comp than we're used to seeing. Like this is a
right. You have locked your playoff spot. So if you're going to try something on, you know, on the LCS stage with a little bit of that pressure, I guess this is the best place to put it to the test here, although you might be sacking your playoff seed a little bit.
If it's worth it.
Up next, though, 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest in their first tiebreaker game of the day. Stick around to see who will win.
But he's got no way out. He's stunned, and First Blood comes through. Now for the trade, though. There's nowhere for Dardoch to go. He does get killed, but First Blood, more gold to Echo Fox.
Hey, no flash, no flash, no flash both. Nice. No, I have stopwatch, I have stopwatch. Yeah, we can.
Nocturne is ulting soon.
He's gonna die. Nice, boys.
And here comes Greg, but he can't smite in time. Baron picked up. Another kill is going to come through. The rest of the team still alive. Fox with Baron in a kill. Paranoia is on, and the battle is there. Can they stop them? It seems like not. Echo Fox grab all the kills. 9-4 in this one. Mithy's going to fall. The next is theirs, and it will be side selection in the quarterfinal for Echo Fox.
Are the backbone of a sub? Then Mike's Way is the heart and soul. Lettuce and tomatoes, onions and spices. all drizzled in the juice. That's the difference. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.